Now, newly formed political party Rise Mzansi is hosting a 3-day People's Convention at Constitutional Hill in Johannesburg. Around 800 delegates from civil society, organizations, academia and businesses are attending the conference. And in his opening address, party leader Songezo Zibi said the time for reconciliation is over and that the only option now is nation building. eNCA reporter Aviwe Mtila is following that story and he joins us now. Aviwe, good afternoon to you and thank you for joining us. Maybe just give us a sense as to what transpired in the conference up to date.
So it's a breakaway sessions now, Cindy, and right behind me is that breakaway session on governance. They're crafting their policies ahead of the 2024 elections that, of course, they'll present to the electorate. That is Rise Mzansi, that's saying that 2024 is our 1994 as they look to take over government in the national elections. They're promising to build a better nation, promising that each and every South African will go to bed not hungry at all. In fact, just to get more on this, I am joined by the national chairperson of Rise Mzansi, that's Vuyiswa Ramakgopa. Vuyiswa, thank you for joining us at eNCA, but maybe let's first delve into the policies that you look to present to South Africans. What are we looking at?
Hi, Aviwe. Thank you. So the way we've structured the conversations over the last 2 days has been around 6 key themes, which are looking at climate change, governance, the economy, nationhood, the family, and the community. Because we believe that those are really the 6 pillars upon which society is built. Now, the process is run in a manner in which we are crowdsourcing inputs from the delegates, and they come from all 9 provinces. And so what we've done is we've released discussion papers ahead of this convention so that people can then obviously engage on our political framing and then give input to some of those discussions. And as you've correctly said, we are discussing all manner of things around, be it electoral reform, but more than just electoral reform. What kind of government is best suited to us as South Africans based on our culture, our values, the nature of our society, the diversity, the form of it. And obviously we have a lot of young people in attendance, and young people are looking and calling for greater levels of accountability from politicians, participation. They want to make their voices heard. So this platform gives an opportunity for all delegates equally to have their voices heard.
Okay, Rise Mzansi is 6 months old. Many would wonder, do we need another political party, given that we've got a myriad of political parties already? What is Rise Mzansi doing differently?
So South Africa is in a state of transition right now, in that, for the first 30 years of our democracy, we were led by essentially a liberation movement that then transitioned into government. But what we've seen, obviously, over the last 30 years is a failure of governance and a failure of all the fundamentals in terms of our economic growth levels and just how we benchmark against other developing countries. So that's one element. We are not solving the very problems that we need to solve to get our country right. And the leaders that we have in place are clearly not capable or just not willing to do it. So why do we need another party? Because the reality is that even with over 500 registered political parties, we still have a situation where 68%, circa 68% of the population chooses not to vote. And they choose not to vote, not because they don't have options, but they don't have the type of politics and the type of political culture and perhaps even the type of leaders that they are looking for. So most people in protest choose to rather just stay at home and not vote. So Rise Mzansi has said we are not fashioning ourselves as another opposition party. We are positioning a political alternative to South Africans. We are saying there can be life after, the governing party that we've known for the last 30 years, and we can build it together. And South Africans want that. They're not just looking for another option, they're looking for something that really looks, feels, sounds like them, and also that can give expression to the desires broadly of South Africans today, where we are.
And 2024 is around the corner, and many are talking of coalition governance, and already we're seeing, for example, DA leading the Moon Pact, where it's forging some sort of alliances with other political political parties, COPE also on the side, trying to forge that alliance. Is this something that Rise Mzansi will consider going into the elections next year?
Look, I mean, coalition governance is a given. It's the nature of our democracy and nature of our electoral system. So we are very much open to the idea post-elections of governing within a coalition. What we have just not done is to try and broker these backdoor deals with parties long before we even go to a policy convention, because then what is the basis of that discussion? So really what we are seeking to do as Rise Mzansi, you've mentioned we are 6 months old, define ourselves in the political space, define our policies in consultation with the people of South Africa, and then after that, have a discussion with other political parties about, do we share values? Are we aligned? Do we see life in the same way? You would have seen yesterday on day one, we did have some political parties that came to give messages of support, because indeed we do share a vision for South Africa that is common and that is aligned. So we are very open to the idea of coalitions in the future. We're very open to the idea of co-governing, but we also are very clear that South Africa needs fundamental change. And we are not going to just do the same things that everybody has always done because we are looking for power. That is not the game we're in. We are trying to create generational, lasting change, and we're willing to walk that journey with anyone who's coming with us.
Okay, lastly, maybe more importantly, to the viewer at home, why should they vote for you?
We need new leaders. That's the long and short. We need credible leaders who are capable, who are untainted by all of the things that are tainting other leaders now, the corruption, the scandals. Rise Mzansi has really been able to source some of the best people from all quarters of society. We are the only party that doesn't come from some baggage from a breakaway of another political party. No one here fought with any political party and then went and started their own thing. It is truly a convergence of different voices in society coming together and wanting to rise up for change. So we're a movement for the people, by the people, and we encourage the people of South Africa to walk this journey with us.
Thank you very much. National Chairperson of Rise Mzansi, saying that they are a movement for the people, by the people, a convergence of people from all walks of life, they say, as they head to the 2024 national elections, saying that they'll put the electorate at the fore, and importantly, the electorate will come first.
Aviwe, thank you so much for your time. For you and your guests, much appreciated indeed. That's Aviwe Mtila, eNCA reporter who is at Constitution Hill as Rise Mzansi on day 2 of their 3-day conference, their People's Manifesto, another alternative that you will have on the ballot paper come the elections 2024.